Get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Detroit Lions. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll set up to throw. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Devon Kennard in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Watch him now, Barney.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he's able to get it out of there. And this is a pretty good kick. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd down, Winston. And his throw is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready. Blue 90. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Back to throw now on first down. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. He'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent.
And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Flush to his right. He hits Riddick underneath. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Green, triple C. 3 down. Hey, Green, triple C. Sonic. Green, triple C. Sonic.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. An update from Buffalo. And the Steelers there out to an early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Detroit! Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. The left side completion to Jones. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
11 more on that one and another first down. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18.
Watching that, Marty! Marty!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And this one is incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. Jameis to throw it. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A first down carry here for Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Winston now from the 50. It's brought in left side by Tate. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Here's Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Well, the drive started the shadow of their own goalpost all the way back at the 2. Pretty nice job of getting downfield and at least getting 3.
Agreed on that one. A real nice job because really their goal was to get out of the shadows of those goalposts and give themselves a little bit of room to help out their defense. Instead, they got 3 points out of it.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A good pickup there, a 22.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Coleman now. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Gone! Detroit!
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, he's got it complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Kerry Hyder able to get him for a loss of about 3.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Kayvon Webster on the defensive side able to get a hand in. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
But you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw here. He's got Curse. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Tim Williams in there to sack him for a loss of 6. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And pressure gets to him again. Kerry Hyder in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Hauschka's kick is good. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. 3rd and long for Winston. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And some space here. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the 3rd quarter. Because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustment.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Luke Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point good by Prater. And we are even at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Devon Kennard in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile. They'll set up to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Throw left side complete. It's Tate. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. A first down throw for Winston. The completion to Riddick. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a handoff. Johnson. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. First down, Winston. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Winston now. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Jameis now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They pitch to Abdullah. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Winston from the gun on third down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lang. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Winston now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. They could get it done. Well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. Going underneath, it's Coleman.
Missed.
It will not go down. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's caught. Jones. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver or tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll look to throw here. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning.
Let's go. It's time to play.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Let's go now.
They try the left side with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Lions on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now Winston. This is Reddick on the screen. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Given 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Lions, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.